I grew up basically living within the Legend of Zelda games. I played them religiously, especially Ocarina of Time. And even after all these years, there's not a soundtrack out there that hits me quite like this one does. There's something about these melodies that just feel bigger than the game itself. They don't just sit in the background, they become the adventure. Today, I want to break down why Ocarina of Time's score is still untouchable, not just because of nostalgia, but because of real musical craft. Coming from a music background, the more I listen to this soundtrack, the more genius I hear within it. When I was a kid, these themes weren't just music. They were the feeling of stepping into Hyrule Field for the first time, the mystery of the Lost Woods, the quiet sadness of certain moments that I didn't even fully understand yet. The music stuck with me for long after I put the controller down. That's the power of a great game score, and Ocarina of Time does it better than almost anything else. This isn't pure nostalgia talking though, there's actual compositional brilliance happening here. Let's start with one of the smartest things about this soundtrack. The music is part of the gameplay itself. The Ocarina melodies, Zelda's Lullaby, Saria Song, the Song of Time, Epona's Song, they aren't just pretty tunes, they're tools. You have to learn them, remember them, and use them to progress the game itself. Koji Kondo designed motifs that are simple enough for a player to play on the ocarina, yet emotionally rich enough to feel meaningful. That dual purpose is so rare. Most game music is either pure atmosphere or pure gameplay feedback. Here, it's both at the same time. The same melody that opens a door also carries emotional weight every time you hear it in a different context. That is elegant design. Now, let's talk about the emotional side. The Hyrule Field theme is pure freedom. It makes the world feel wide open. You hear those rising lines and you immediately want to explore. Then you hear something like the Lost Woods or Saria Song, playful on the surface, but with this slight undercurrent of unease. It fits the forest perfectly. And then, there's Zelda's Lullaby, one of the most beautiful and recognizable motifs in all of gaming. It's gentle, elegant, and instantly emotional. Kondo knew how to write a melody that stays with you. What impresses me most, as someone who comes from music, is how the score shifts tone so cleanly. The music can feel adventurous, mysterious, tense, melancholic, even triumphant, and it never feels forced. It supports the story and the player's emotions without ever overpowering them. Even the darker tracks like the Shadow Temple or the final sections, they use atmosphere and restraint in a way that a lot of modern scores completely forget. Sometimes, silence and space are just as important as the notes themselves. Now here's the real test. A lot of big modern games have huge orchestral scores that sound impressive in the moment, and then you completely forget you even heard them a week later. Ocarina of Time is quite the opposite. These themes are still stuck in people's heads decades later. They're still being arranged, covered, and performed live. That kind of staying power is rare. Part of it is the strong, memorable melodies. Part of it is how perfectly the music is tied into the experience of playing the game. And part of it is just pure craft from Koji Kondo, the man himself. Even with all the technical limitations of the Nintendo 64, they created something that still feels so emotionally complete. Of course, the music doesn't exist in a vacuum. Ocarina of Time's gameplay is a huge part of why the experience still feels so special. The world design, the sense of discovery, the way dungeons teach you mechanics and then test them, the iconic moments like pulling the Master Sword or riding Epona across Hyrule Field, it all holds up remarkably well. The game gives you freedom while still guiding you, and that balance is something a lot of modern open-world titles really struggle with. It's not perfect. The camera can be frustrating, some of the controls feel dated, of course, by today's standards, and a few dungeon puzzles rely a bit too much on trial and error. Yes, we're looking at you, Water Temple. But the core gameplay loop, exploring, learning songs, solving puzzles, progress, it is so well crafted that any little rough around the edges things that we see will never take you out of the adventure. For me, this soundtrack didn't just accompany this game. It was a huge part of why the game itself felt so special growing up. Playing Zelda so much as a kid really shaped me, and this music is a big reason why those memories still feel so vivid. Ocarina of Time proved that game music can be both functional and deeply emotional at the same exact time, and that's why, in my opinion, this game still stands in a league of its own. If I had to give everything an absolute score, the music is of course a perfect 10 out of 10. The gameplay is a very strong 9.5 out of 10, and together, they create one of the most complete and memorable experiences in all of gaming history. So tell me, what's your favorite track from the Ocarina of Time soundtrack? I genuinely want to know. Drop it in the comments below, and if you're interested in more deep dives into legendary game scores and modern game scores, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I've got a lot more coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.